Surviving life. It's something we all try to do.
And when life gets tough, some turn to a life coach. Here in the Madison area, Darcy Luoma is one of the most recognizable names in the industry. She's built her business from the ground up and developed her own leadership model, Thoughtfully Fit. Little did she know that it's what would help her navigate her darkest days when the life she knew completely crumbled. In her first on-camera interview tonight, Darcy is opening up, telling her story since first sharing it with our media partner, Bravo Magazine.
So happy to get all these done.
A busy mom of two, Darcy Luoma balances motherhood.
We get up and I make the girls breakfast.
While working full-time as a business owner.
We have a team phone call and we set our intention for the day.
Before that, her career was rooted in politics and nonprofits, working on the presidential campaign for Al Gore and serving as the director of Senator Herb Kohl's office.
I really got to see different people and how they communicate, how they interact, and I've been fascinated with it my whole life.
It was that curiosity that prompted her to take one of the biggest risks, launching her own business to follow her true passion.
This is about saying expand your range.
Since January 2013, she's spent her days building her life coaching and consulting business from the ground up.
I've really had very little work-life balance. I was relying on and luckily had a stay-at-home husband. So John was a full-time stay-at-home dad. He did all the haircuts, he did the dentist appointments, he did Girl Scout cookie selling, all of that, which allowed me to focus on my business.
Focus she did, logging more than 10,000 hours of coaching and consulting, delivering 250 keynotes and workshops.
I love what I do. I love, love, love it.
She launched a coaching team 3 years later in January 2016. But for this well-articulated woman who spent much of her life studying the dynamics of communication, Darcy struggled to find the words to tell a side of her story very few people have heard until now.
I was completely blindsided.
Darcy's husband of 10 years, John Gilbert, and the dad of their then 8- and 9-year-old girls, was arrested for child pornography and sexual assault of a 15-year-old.
All of these processes and systems and flow and structure that I had built in my life were upended. Just like that.
With an overwhelming sense of emotions.
There were tears. I was in a space of hiding and seclusion and anger.
This all happened just 2 months after expanding her business and 5 days after launching her signature leadership model, Thoughtfully Fit. Darcy found herself using the same advice she had given to countless others.
Thoughtfully Fit became my lifeline to deal with this tragedy. Everything that I had been spending years, really decades, researching and putting together, now I was implementing. I was ground zero.
Darcy had two choices: crumble or face it head-on, thoughtfully.
So I think if I was not a mom, I probably would have crumbled. I probably would have crawled in a hole. But I had to figure out that balance between honoring those emotions and life goes on.
It was not as easy as life goes on. She says it took work, years of work, practicing the 3 steps of being thoughtfully fit: pause, think, act.
You can't believe how many times I would have, in the moment, I'd have a reaction and I think, pause, take a breath, think, what do I need right now? How do I want to show up right now? What's most important? Why am I getting triggered? And then acting from that place more thoughtfully.
It's those 3 steps that has brought Darcy to know and accept her new normal.
I'm hoping that part of my story can provide hope, that there is a way out, and that if you do handle that adversity thoughtfully, you can.
How do you find the silver lining in all of this?
I am so much closer to my girls. I am now driving them to Girl Scouts, to 4-H. I'm sitting at their swim meets the whole time. And I didn't even know that I wasn't close to them, and I was close to them. It worked for our family. It was how we designed it. But that is one example of a tremendous hidden blessing that came out of this.
It has taken years for Darcy to get to this point of sharing her story and being at peace, as she says. And two pieces of a story that I do want to share. Darcy did file for divorce, and John was ultimately sentenced to 10 years in federal prison.
You know, it's really courageous for her to share this story. It's inspiring to people that maybe face obstacles. And, you know, so we have to thank her for that, for not wanting to talk about it.
Yeah, she's very brave for opening up. And right now, I do want to tell you that she is working on a book that shows her own personal experience, how it helped to really shape her model of Thoughtfully Fit. But until that happens, you can actually read more of Darcy's story in the May issue of Brava magazine. We have a link online right now, and it is on newsstands as we speak. And by opening your NBC 15 app right now, watch an extended video to find out how Darcy told her two children about what happened to their father and their reaction.